Welcome to episode 134 of the Fully In It podcast. So here we are. We are on the cusp of a brand new year. How are you feeling about it? Are you feeling totally pumped and ready for the clean slate and you're just going to hit the ground running toward your big goals and dreams? Or are you feeling a bit tired? Maybe you're feeling behind from the holidays, and wouldn't it be nice just to have a few more weeks to kind of rest and recover and prepare for the new year? No matter how you are feeling, you can reach your most productive self. You can get way more done and feel good about doing it when you implement some time management into your strategy. And on today's episode, I cannot wait to share with you my secret way of managing everything that is on my plate between homeschooling, just being a mom, running a home, and ultimately also running this business. So if you are ready to feel that shift inside where you feel very purposeful about the new year and also how you are managing your time on a daily basis, let's go ahead and jump right into the episode. Welcome to Fully In It, a show for moms who are called to grow themselves while growing their families. Join me, Kate Saffel, a life and a business coach for moms, a homeschooling mama of 3, and a woman on a quest to show that our lives become even more meaningful when we remember why we are here and what truly matters most. This show is about going fully in it for you and the people you love by showing up powerfully in motherhood, entrepreneurship, in your home life, and for your family vision. Join me for weekly episodes that will inspire you to live intentionally and by your values, to slow down and truly be present to your family life, to make decisions that grow a profitable business without sacrificing anything in the process, and to become the kind of mom and woman you know you're meant to be in this lifetime. As moms, really the only limit on what is possible for you and I is either our mindset, so how we think about what is possible for us, as well as our time. And that's really the practical piece of what is possible for us. And how you manage your time, how you show up for your goals on a daily basis is going to determine how quickly you actually reach your goals. So for example, if you struggle to get the things done that you know are going to move the needle forward in your business, you aren't prioritizing your business, you aren't showing up as consistently as you want to show up, or maybe it's the same in your home life, right? There's things that you want to do that you know would impact your family and help you to move toward the vision you have together, but time keeps slipping away from you and you feel like you're getting to the end of every day and you look at your list and you're like, oh, I didn't get done the things I wanted to do. This is a time management issue. And on this episode today, I really want to talk to you about ways that you can expand your time and essentially make it feel like you have more of it. These are strategies I've been playing with for about 5 years. And I get asked so often, Kate, how do you do everything that you do? And I don't have a magic wand or I'm not like a special unicorn. It's just that I have gotten laser focused in how it is that I use my time and how productive I am and where I focus my energy so I'm not leaking time and energy all over the place. But I really got kicked in the butt over the last year when it comes to this, just being fully honest with you. I was dealing with some health stuff and my energy was chronically low. And it was very confusing because I would have periods where I felt very energetic and then I would go weeks with incredibly low energy and brain fog and just feeling like I didn't want to do anything. And you may very well relate to this and understand how it feels because I feel like it's something that tends to happen in motherhood. You know, we get into motherhood. We've had, a child or 2 or 3 or however many you have, and it starts to zap our energy and our ability to think clearly. And so I really had to play with how I got things done because I couldn't do all the things, right? Because I wasn't feeling super awesome. So it meant that my efforts needed to be even more effective. And I also had to shift up my business strategy so that I could hold everything that was on my plate and still take care of myself and take care of my family. So I really had to go back to basics and think about how it was that I was supporting my physical body as well as my brain. And this meant I started to clean up the way I was eating, make sure I was eating more consistent meals because, spoiler alert, like if you're not eating regularly, you don't have the energy that you need. I really focused on going to bed earlier and waking up earlier simply because I know for me, I do best when I'm in bed by about 9 and then I get up between 5 to 6 a.m. That's usually what creates, it helps me be the most productive version of myself. And then also just getting outside, getting plenty of sunshine and outdoor time. I mean, yes, we live somewhere where it feels like summer year round. However, busy life, like I often find there's a lot of days I don't get outside. I stay indoors all day, and we really need that regular sunshine to feel good and feel motivated and get good rest. And it's like it's all connected. But the big thing I realized was that coffee wasn't giving me the boost that it used to. I remember like I used to be able to drink a cup of coffee and I would be like, woo, I'd feel wired and I would have tons of energy. And now it doesn't really have the same impact for me. And I realized this talking to one of my friends, Tanessa Shears, and she's a biohacking expert. I actually had her on the podcast a handful of episodes ago. So if that kind of stuff interests you, you definitely want to go listen to it. But she talked about how coffee blocks adenosine in your body, which is what makes you feel tired. It's what helps you recognize that you are tired. So when the coffee blocks the adenosine, you're not actually gaining more energy. You just don't realize how tired you are. Coffee kind of tricks us in that way, except it like mostly stopped working for me. Like I still love coffee. I just love having a coffee in the morning, but I couldn't rely on it anymore to make me feel energetic and definitely not have a clear mind. So I started taking more B vitamins because I thought like that would help. And then I added a new drink to my routine called Magic Mind. And it's a little shot bottle that has matcha in it and some other awesome supplements like ashwagandha and lion's mane. And here's the thing, I've noticed since I started taking it that my energy is lasting longer and my brain actually feels clear. And with homeschooling my kids and running my business and just everything that comes with modern life, and I know you know what I'm talking about, I finally feel like I have the energy and the focus to do everything that is on my plate. So if you're a busy entrepreneur mom like me who is trying to get all of the things done daily, I totally recommend you try it. The amazing people at Magic Mind have given me a code that you can use, and it is fully in it 20. You can go to magicmind.com/fullyinit. And with that code, you get up to 56% off of your first subscription or 20% off your one-time purchase. So that code again is fullyinit20 and it is for 56% off. And this also works if you're already subscribing, like you already know what's up with Magic Mind, you're gonna save that on your next subscription payment. So if you try it, let me know what you think because it has made such a huge difference for me. And I would be really curious to hear how you feel when you try it. So let's go ahead and dig into what it looks like to manage your time in a way that is going to help you hit your most important goals, both in business and family life. I want you to think about what is your main goal for the new year. Like when you think big picture, what it is you want to create over this next year, what would it be? And it can be a lot of different things, right? It doesn't have to be money, but it could be a money goal. It could be a certain number of sales or clients. It could be exposure and visibility and growing your audience. It could be the number of people you impact and serve. Whatever it is that feels good to you, if you're somewhere where you can write that down, definitely get it on paper. If you're driving right now, no worries, just do it later. But we want to be clear on what is your goal. And the reason that I ask you this is because so often we roll into a new week and we're like, oh, I know there's things I need to do. But if you don't have a plan, you're going to probably be putting out fires and not actually doing the things that move the needle forward. This is why I always talk about having a vision and setting goals. Because if you don't know where you're heading, you will head nowhere, right? You'll just be spinning your wheels and doing the same thing over and over again, and then beating yourself up and wondering, why am I not accomplishing the things that I thought I would accomplish? It's really this simple. It's just having that vision, and it is just setting that goal. So, okay, we know what our goal is right now. I want you to think about what are the simply weekly tasks you need to do on repeat to hit that goal. And another way to think about this is, what are the simple tasks in your business that are going to move the needle forward? And what I mean by that is you're going to see momentum. You're going to see progress toward your goal. And for me, when I just boil it all down to the simplest tasks, all I really feel like I need to do is send 2 value-rich emails every week to my list. I put out 1 podcast, and I do daily stories in my Instagram. I post to my Instagram most days. I'm focused on giving lots of value and being a good human being to the people in my community, whatever that looks like. Because I truly believe that when we put value out in the world, it comes back to us. And so I do this in a very no strings attached way because I love helping and I love serving, but it tends to also have the benefit of growing my business. And then the final thing that I'm going to do every day is I'm going to manage my mind. Remember, I talked about that at the beginning of the episode. So I'm going to manage my mindset, and I'm going to journal on my goal and vision. I'm going to write it down every day because studies show when you write down your goal daily, you're going to hit it so much faster. So for you, how many hours per week do you need to do the tasks that are going to move the needle forward for you? So you want to write down what those simple tasks are, and then just guesstimate how many hours a week that is for you. And really for me, I spend, maybe somewhere between 12 to 20 hours a week on my business, and that's about it. Some seasons it's more if I'm putting out some kind of course or bigger piece of content that just needs more planning and creation time. But for the most part, I can get by with about 12 to 20 hours a week, maybe 25 at the most. Let's say for you though, you decide you need 20 hours. And I think that that's pretty reasonable for most entrepreneurs, but you don't feel like you have 20 hours to give, right? You kind of look at your days and you're like, this is just not really possible. What I want you to do is open up your mind to getting creative about how you could actually find those 20 hours. We have so many hours to play with in any given week, but we tend to lose them. We tend to kind of, fritter them away because we're not paying attention. And when we bring awareness to how we are spending our time, we can actually reclaim so much of it. So if you were to get curious about how you could find 20 hours a week, you might wake up before your kids and put in 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. And that's 10 hours right there. And maybe you can't, right? Maybe your kids go to school really early in the morning, or they wake up at 5 a.m. or it's, something like that. Could you do it in the evening? Could you do it during nap time? Could you find time while they're playing in your backyard, or they're having quiet time, or something like that? Sometimes we have to get really creative. I remember when my kids were little, I had a toy library. And what this means is I had extra toys that they weren't playing with, and I kept them up on the top shelf of a closet. And then when I knew I needed like 20 minutes uninterrupted, because sometimes that's all you can get, especially if you have, like babies or toddlers. I would pull down one of these toys they hadn't seen in a while, and I would already have my laptop set up. I would drop it, make sure that they were in a safe place, and then I would go work. And sometimes I would work right next to them, right? Depending on what it was that I was creating. But again, it's finding little simple ways like that so that your kids are occupied, they're safe, they're taken care of, and then you can get your work done. You might also ask your significant other, if you have one, if they could keep the kids busy for you 1 to 2 days per week. Maybe it's in the evenings. Like for me, when I started my business, I would go to a coffee shop almost every evening, Monday through Friday, from like 6 to 9 p.m., and I would work. So I was getting in 12 to 15 hours a week just by going and working in the evenings after my husband, Kirk, got home from his job. And I know, we're like, oh, I don't want to miss the evenings. I want to be part of dinner and all of that. But here's the thing. Okay, you ready for this? So here's some tough love. If you don't put in the time now, your business will stay a hobby. You'll keep giving time and energy and financial resources to it, but it'll never grow to a place where it is financially giving back to your family. And this is a really tough place to be. And I was there in my business years ago, and I realized that it was such a drain on my family that the most valuable thing you can do is commit to being very successful in your business. And that means putting time in. And especially in 2024, businesses are not going to just grow by magic. They just don't magically become super successful. You have to put the time and the energy and the heart into making it happen. You have to be believing that it is going to happen for you. So find the time, get creative, and then we're going to talk about how you're going to put boundaries around that time so that it doesn't get used up for something else. And the way that we do this is by using time blocking. Have you heard of time blocking? If you've been in my world for a bit, you know that I love it. And this is my secret time management strategy, because I know sometimes people talk about it, but I don't know that many people who use time blocking the way that I do. And I want to teach you the way that I use it, because I think that it's going to be so beneficial for you. I've tried to make a schedule where I plan everything down to like the half hour. And I can follow that for a little bit, but I get a little like stressed out by it. I don't like being that scheduled down. And so time blocks are a little bit more flexible way for you to manage your time without feeling like you're being micromanaged. And the way time blocks work is that you gather similar tasks into a chunk of time, and you only do that flavor of task. So if I have a time block for homeschooling, guess what I'm doing? I'm homeschooling. I'm not trying to create content while I'm washing dishes, while I'm teaching a math lesson and calling my mom. And we're just focusing on one thing at a time. And really, this is also because multitasking is a myth. Like, it doesn't work. Your brain has to cognitively shift gears, and it takes minutes for your brain to get back on track to what it was you were doing before. So we definitely don't want to be like switching gears and going back and forth between tasks. So you're doing all of the same flavor of tasks in that time block. And this is beneficial for you because you know what to expect on a daily basis. But guess what? It's also like super amazing for your kids because it helps them build a predictable rhythm of knowing what to expect. And maybe your kids are in school, and so you don't really worry about this. Like, they're going to be gone. You're going to be working while they're gone, and that's okay. But if your kids are home during the day, you have little ones, or you're homeschooling like me, or even you just want to time block the entire day out, both when the kids are gone and when they're home, it is just going to get your entire family on a really amazing rhythm together so that you're really set up for success. Once we build out a time blocking plan, it will also keep you from not overscheduling yourself, because if certain tasks and responsibilities don't fit into your time blocks, you're going to say no to them and you're not going to do them. I personally have time blocks set up for my business, homeschooling, and family time, and then my personal time. So in a nutshell, what it typically looks like for me is I'm going to be up from around like 5 to 8 a.m., somewhere in there, I'm going to be working on my business. And I also use this time to do my mindset work, to read, to just kind of sit quietly and mentally get on board for the day. And then I will do any kind of business work that isn't content creation, that requires me like setting up cameras, setting up my microphone. I have recorded my podcast really early in the morning, so sometimes I'll do that in my jammies. But for the most part, it's going to be kind of administrative stuff. It's going to be planning, writing, and scripting out various things, writing emails, stuff like that is going to be what I'm going to put first thing in the morning. Then we kind of shift gears. I get ready, the kids get ready, we have breakfast, they've got their morning things that they're expected to do. And then we all sit down and we homeschool from about 9 a.m. to noon, and it's just 3 hours a day. That's it. We keep homeschool very simple. And then we have our co-op on Thursdays, and that is a full day. And then I'm usually going to work on my business again in the afternoons. This would be when I would put in a coaching call, like Expand Mentoring membership is on Mondays. And, when I do mini masterminds, I will stick that in the afternoon. If I have a private client, that sort of thing is going to be in the afternoon block. And for me personally, I do it this way because I want to know that my kids' needs are met first before I then go and serve my clients. And my kids are now 6, 9, and 12. And so by the time we get to the afternoon block, they've homeschooled, they're ready to relax. So they will go play, they will read books, they'll work on projects, they might watch a show, but they keep themselves fairly occupied if I need to get some work done. And then we'll often leave in the afternoons as well to go run errands, or if the kids have lessons and that sort of thing. So I consider the afternoon block a flex time, and we designate its purpose for each day. So every day of the week is going to look a little bit different. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment, because that actually has a name. And then we have family time in the evening. And this is where I try really hard to put my phone away and just be present with the family and turn off my business mind so that we can have dinner together and we can play puzzles or games or do things like that. So I want you to think about, for you, what are your basic time blocks that you want to hold on a daily basis? What are the tasks that you need to assign to each of those blocks so that you can feel incredibly confident and feel more ease managing both home life and business? There's one more thing that I want to mention that I think is a really fun thing that you can do, which is called day theming. I kind of mentioned this just a moment ago, but it's essentially where, like, let's say you have a business block and it's every single day from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, each of those days could be a separate focus. So maybe Monday is your CEO day, where you plan out the week, you work on the big picture vision, you think about things that you need to do so that you can properly lead as the owner of your business. And then maybe Tuesdays are content creation day. This is where you batch content. Maybe Wednesdays are where you do more of the kind of administrative tasks, your emailing or your bookkeeping tasks, and so forth. So day theming can be really fun. And, as moms, this is something we kind of do, right? Like if you think about with meal planning, you have like Taco Tuesday, and like each day you have a certain kind of meal that you make. You can do this in your daytime life too when it comes to your business and your home. You could also day theme your cleaning tasks and have like a specific room of your house that you work on each day. So these are just different ways that you can increase your productivity and manage your time in a way that helps you to get more done. Obviously, I have a lot of thoughts on this, so this will definitely be a topic that we're going to revisit more throughout the year. I'm going to be coaching a ton on this and expand mentoring membership and adding more resources for managing your time and feeling more confident balancing motherhood and business. So that's definitely something to keep on your radar if you want to be part of a community of entrepreneur moms. Highly recommend that you check it out at happierinmotherhood.com/expand-membership. And as always, I'm just so thankful that you're here, that you are listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a friend. And if you share it on social media, make sure to tag me at Happier in Motherhood. Okay, I will talk to you all next week.